Hey there, brothers. It's good to see ya. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be talking about some financial freedom, some retire early type of stuff, man. We're going to talk about the rat race and how to get out of it, man. So at the time of filming this, it's Friday evening, and I have been working 81 and a half hours so far. I got to leave a little bit early today. Actually, a lot early. I left the hospital at 6:20 p.m. And I got home, and then my annoying co-resident, he messaged in our group chats just being over the top, being extra, being a try-hard, actually complaining, I think, about me and maybe one other guy, but definitely about me, about leaving at what I think is a normal time. Most of all the administrative work has been caught up, I think, sufficiently, but we've all worked 81 and a half hours, and it's just another thing, right? So, man, the rat race, I'm in it, clearly, and tomorrow morning I'm going in at 7 a.m. to the hospital, and I work until 7 a.m. on Sunday. So Saturday to Sunday, that's 24 hours added up. That's about 100 hours, right? So I'm going to be taking call and having to deal with a bunch of nonsense all weekend, essentially. If you're like me and you don't have millions of dollars, you didn't spawn into this world that we know, you didn't come into this with a trust fund where you can do and live however you want, okay? You got to go to work, and that means different things to different people, right? Maybe your work situation is different than mine. I'm in a residency program, all right? I'm training in a medical specialty. So I have to show up and I have to do this training. Okay, have to. I could, I guess, find other jobs, but you get the drift. I've explained that I'm doing this training in order to better myself, to then be able to leave the rat race, all right? But here I am. And have you ever thought about the fact that if you are operating in a certain mental state when you go to work, okay, everybody that's watching this, you have bills to pay, you have responsibilities, you might have a girlfriend, you might have a wife, you might have a family and children, you might be divorced and having to be paying alimony. That's a whole different subsection of rat race I should cover. I have no experience in that, thank God, and I never will. Okay, but you are operating in the rat race, under a veil of fear. You are operating under a veil of guardedness. So when I evaluate somebody and I'm evaluating an injury in the hospital, one thing we notice is if they're guarding. If I'm trying to touch a wound, touch around the face to test for things, if they're guarding, if they're pulling away from me, that's their posture. You're in the rat race, you're going to work, and you are posturing like a posture of defense, of self-preservation. You are posturing out of fear. I can guarantee you are. And you may be like, wait, well, what do you mean? I go to work with a good attitude. I go to work smiling. Some days I laugh at work. I laugh with my coworkers. No. Hear me out. You have to take care of yourself and people around you, loved ones. Okay? You don't have the means to walk away from your job. You do not have options. You do not have freedom. You absolutely 100% need this job. You need this relationship that you are in. A couple things that are 100% certain in life. You're going to pay taxes and you're going to die. And for most people who never leave the rat race, they are 100% going to their job. They're going to their job. There is no negotiation. When you go to your job, you are following rules for a couple reasons. Maybe you are a hard worker. Maybe that's part of your belief system, right? In my personal faith, I believe in doing everything as if you're doing it for the Lord, right? That's biblical scripture, okay? You're following the rules because you want to be a good person, but you're also following the rules. You're doing your best. Maybe you're putting up with some extra nonsense at work because you are afraid of the consequences. You are afraid of the consequences because you don't have other options. You have to have this relationship. You're operating out of a mindset of fear. If I had $5 million in my bank account tomorrow, I could choose to continue working. I could show up to my residency program tomorrow. And like I said, part of my belief system is doing the very best that I can, doing the best job I can, especially for people, because I'm in the people business. Okay, I take care of humans. So I believe in that. Also, an adjacent idea to that is, but I also wouldn't, I would strictly and utterly only do things for the patient. I would never think of somebody's ego, some leader above me, some annoying co-resident. I would never think about that. I would think about what's best for the patient. I would do my very best job, and I would probably cut through some of the nonsense rules that I don't agree with. I probably would leave at more of like a better time. I would choose to probably say, nah, I'm not doing some of this admin work. I'm not doing that, because literally there is no fear. I'm taken care of. Whatever happens, if for some reason I'm kicked out of my job, I lose my job, everything's good. I'm moving and shaking, everything is in check. So you're watching this, and I've highlighted the problem. I've highlighted the posture. Really, I've highlighted the mindset and the posture. The problem is the money, right? Everybody has money things. Everybody wishes they wanted more money, right? So how do you solve this? How do you get to that where you're not operating out of this mindset, this guarding posture? Man, that's the $10 million question. And that is a question that I'm grappling with as a young professional. That's what a lot of people are grappling with as they are navigating this economy in this job market. In 2026, man, we're fighting a war over with Iran, and all this oil is up. Gas prices are up. Vehicle prices are completely crazy and out of control. And a lot of what I'm saying, for many people, they're thinking, dude, that is 100% completely impossible. That is impossible. Like what you're talking about, what you're talking about achieving is like financial freedom, to truly be just free. That's impossible. Most average people would say that. Odds are, if you clicked on this video, maybe you are in just like the very preliminary stages of this mindset, of slowly unraveling this, and you're starting to see this. I feel like every single rabbit hole is like that. I mean, like every conspiracy theory, everything that we've ever been taught. I'm not going to veer off into things, but it always starts with a little. You're noticing something, and then it just starts crashing down, man. And you start digging, and you start realizing things, and how you're living is because of what you were taught, and what you were taught isn't always the truth, or it's not always what's best for you. How do you achieve what you're talking about, man? To be free. It's not easy. My version of that, for me and my wife and our future kids. There's ducks in the background. Sorry, I guess they're flying overhead. My version of that is essentially to sacrifice relentlessly, right now, in a very high demand profession, in a very difficult to attain skill, something that's going to pay me dividends. I mean, literally, like monetarily, it's going to pay so much money. Like it's worth tons of money. That's just what it is. It's gonna pay off in so many other ways, in personal satisfaction, all of that. But it is what it is, man. And so that skill combined with frugality, that will get me where I need to go. And it's not easy. Absolutely, it's not easy. This is the level of education I'm in is the top. It's the pinnacle. Okay, you could go on to fellowships of medicine and all these things, but it is the top. It is hard. I'm dealing with extremely intelligent people, intelligent surgeons, people that can do things that only like a couple thousand people in the world can do. Okay, these people are different. This environment is different. So what I want you to do is find your version of that, whatever that means, right? So you need something in medicine that we talk about is the ins and the outs, right? When we're taking care of a patient, we talk about what they're taking in, what fluids they're taking in, whether it be through an IV or whether it be by mouth. That's what's coming in. Okay, food and all of that too, nutrition. What is going out? Are they urinating? Are their kidneys healthy? Right? Do they have acute kidney injury? Do they have upper urinary tract infection? I'm tired, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like ins and outs. For you need to figure out, okay, what do I need to bring in? How much money do I need to survive? Then how much money do I need to be comfortable and satisfied and be able to take this kind of vacation that I enjoy, or to fulfill this hobby that I enjoy? That's your ins. That's really your outs, right? That's the money you are spending. You need to figure out what you can take in. You need to fix the in, the money that's coming in, and you need to look at the out. And you need to figure out what that is, man. And you need to do that in such a way that can orient your life to as much freedom as you can have. And I mean, for a lot of people, let's be honest, you're not going to live a luxurious life. You're not going to be eating $100 steak dinner. Okay, some people, literally what this looks like for them is living in a van, in a camper van. And sure, if you're the single guy, if you're the single gal, 30% of my audience is women, so I'll shout out to you guys. If that's you, then sure, that's fine, that works. Okay, but your lifestyle is everything in this. Your lifestyle is the limiting rate. That's a limiting factor, right? Children, limiting factor. All, and I say this, and then life happens. Life just happens, right? Life happens, and some people get sick. Medical bills pop up, right? Repairs happen. Freak accidents happen. Homes burn down. I get it. Things happen. So what I'm talking about, complete and utter freedom, never having to work again, never having to deal with fear, being afraid, right? Afraid. It's, for some people, that's a hard goal. So perhaps you need to tamper your goal to something more reasonable. But for me, that is what I'm striving for. Okay? We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what I end up with. A lot of people in the comments section say, man, you're young. You got a lot to learn. Get a couple kids and you'll see how it is. You'll see how much money starts flying out of your bank account. I get that and I respect that. And, I welcome those changes and I welcome the challenge. Ultimately, I don't think you should literally be afraid. I don't think you should literally be afraid that you don't have money, or literally operate completely shaking out of fear at work, right? Because ultimately, it's my belief that my security comes from God, my Savior, right? He provides everything I need. I'm never worried about what I'm going to have. I could have nothing and still be joyous because I have my faith. Everything could be stripped from me completely, and at least I know the truth. in my estimation, right? So also take that with you, man. Take that little nugget. That's a little side conversation about faith and wellness, right? And just getting your mind right. So that's something to be had there. Okay. But the bottom line is, man, the rat race is real. It's not going anywhere. We're living in it. And do you want to live in it? That's something you have to ask yourself. Do you, come Monday, do you want to be there, where you are, around your coworkers, dealing with the boss? Is that what you want for the rest of your life? It's not what I want. At least I want to be in control. I want more control, man. So, hey, with that, I will leave you. I hope I earned your subscription. I hope I earned your like. And I hope I earned your comment. Let me know what you think below. Until next time.